You are listening to the USDN on the DFPN.
It's a trap!
Oh, hello there, and welcome to the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And normally, this is where we would be welcoming another incredible independent comic creator to the Council of Nerds to share their journey, their passion, and the stories they are bringing to life. Tonight is a little different. Tonight isn't about one creator. Tonight is about every creator who has trusted the USDN with their story over the last 3 years. It's about the independent comics community. It's about where we've been. It's where we are today and where we are headed to next. This is my first ever chairman's address, and I wanted to take this opportunity to speak directly to the people who have helped make USDN what it is today. Whether you've been with us since the very beginning or you recently just discovered the show, first off, thank you all for being here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the Council of Nerds is now in session. And before we talk about where we're going, I think it's only fair that we take a moment to appreciate where we've come, or how far we have come. Over the last 3 years, USDN has grown beyond anything I ever imagined it could. By the end of this month, we will have interviewed more than 100 independent comic creators. We've published more than 880 videos across YouTube and social media. We're also approaching 3,000 downloads on the podcast platforms, which is incredible for a podcast that covers independent comics. Across every platform, we have achieved 10,000. Let me say that again. 10,000 people have chosen to follow the USDN. Those are numbers that I am incredibly proud of. But honestly, those numbers aren't what matter the most. What matters is what they represent. Every interview represents a creator who believed in what we were building. Every video represents another opportunity to introduce someone to an independent comic or creator they may not have discovered otherwise. Every podcast download represents someone willing to spend time listening to conversations about creativity, storytelling, and the people behind the books. That's what those numbers really mean to me. They represent trust. And that's something that I will never take for granted. When USDN first started, we covered a little bit of everything: movies, television, comic books, pop culture. Like a lot of new channels, we were trying to figure out exactly who we wanted to be. There are already a lot of incredibly talented people covering Marvel, DC, Star Wars, movies, television. Every corner of mainstream entertainment already has passionate voices talking about it. I didn't want USDN to become another voice shouting into an already crowded room. I wanted us to build something we could truly call our own. That's when independent comics found me. Or maybe more accurately, we found each other. And it all started with one creator willing to take a chance on a relatively, at the time, very small podcast. And that creator was Bruno Catarino. Bruno trusted us with his story. And looking back now, I don't think either of us realized how important that interview would become. Because after that conversation, everything changed. One creator became another, and then another, and then another. And before I knew it, independent comics weren't just something we covered. They had become the heart of the USDN. Since then, we've had the privilege of speaking with creators from every background imaginable, multiple countries with, working on the same book, people working in Germany and in the US at the same time on the same book. And that's incredible that independent comics brought those two people together and eventually led them to discover the USDN. So with that, first-time Kickstarter creators, industry veterans, writers, artists, publishers, colorists, letterers, people chasing a lifelong dream. Every single conversation has taught me something. After more than 100 interviews, there are a few lessons that continue to stand out to me. The first is that there is no single path into comics. Some creators come from the military, some are from film, some are teachers, engineers, parents, students, maybe even your next door neighbor. But every journey is different, but they all started the same way. Someone had an idea and refused to give up on it. The second lesson is perseverance. Every creator we've talked to has experienced rejection, self-doubt, campaigns that didn't go as planned, moments where they wondered if anyone would ever read their work. That difference wasn't talent, it was persistence. The third lesson surprised me the most, and that's community. Community matters more than competition. I've watched creators promote one another's campaigns, share advice, celebrate each other's victories, lift each other up when things got difficult, and that's rare. And it's one of those things I admire most about the indie comic community. Another lesson, readers can tell when a story comes from the heart. The books people remember aren't usually the ones chasing trends. They're the books creators couldn't wait to make. Authenticity matters. Finally, I've learned what that success means something different to everyone. For one creator, success is funding their Kickstarter campaign or their crowdfunding campaign. For another, it's holding their very first printed comic book that they created. There isn't one definition of success in this. And that's one of the beautiful things about independent comics. And somewhere along the way, USDN stopped feeling just like a YouTube channel. Creators began trusting us with campaign launches. Publishers started reaching out. Convention organizers welcomed us as press. Without ever really planning it, the USDN has grown into something bigger. With that growth came responsibility. Every interview represents someone's dream. Years of work, late nights, personal sacrifices, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, someone out there will connect with their story. That's why preparation matters. That's why respect matters. That's why every interview deserves the same level of care, whether it's someone's first comic or their 15th. Because once someone trusts you with their story, you have a responsibility to tell it well. And that's why USDN exists today. Not to manufacture controversy, not to chase outrage, not to create drama. We exist because creators deserve to be heard. We exist because their stories matter. We exist because independent comics deserve a spotlight. And that brings me to something I believe every viewer and every future guest deserves to hear. When you watch USDN, the promise is simple. Every creator who joins this show will be treated with respect. Every interview will be prepared, and every conversation will be honest. Every creator will have the opportunity to tell their story in their own words. We're never going to manufacture controversy for clicks. We're never going to tear someone down just to create engagement. That's not who we are. We're here to celebrate creativity because at the end of the day, the story behind a comic is often just as compelling as the story itself. As proud as I am of everything we've accomplished, I'm even more excited about what's next. Growth isn't just about doing more. Sometimes growth means doing better. One of the biggest changes you'll notice moving forward is that the USDN will be conducting fewer interviews. Not because we're stopping or stepping away from independent comics. That will never happen. It's quite the opposite. Every interview has become far more than a live stream. Every creator now receives a complete content campaign from long form episodes, which are now known as the Chairman's Cuts. They also get YouTube Shorts, platform specific social media promotion to promote their project. Ongoing support long after the interview has ended. The level of quality takes time, and every creator deserves our very best. You'll also begin seeing new programming on this channel. One project I'm especially excited about this is a working name, so bear with me, and I'm going to call it From the Desk of the Chairman. What is From the Desk of the Chairman? It's New Comic Book Day. It could be something as simple as something I found while shopping for New Comic Book Day. It will be something is from my desk. Just simple somethings, maybe a top 5 of what I'm reading for the month. I don't know how to define it yet, but I do know it will be something interesting in my take on that. And it will just simply be a chance to sit down and give my thoughts on comics or what I've noticed in campaigns lately, in Kickstarter campaigns, the books I'm reading, and hidden gems that I may have discovered, such as a new and unique comic shop that while I was out either doing a convention or out with my family on a vacation. And that seemed to be something y'all were really excited about when I did that on my last trip. So it will be something like that. But these things don't necessarily fit the creator interviews, but they're still worth sharing. And that's why that program is coming. You'll also see continued expansion of our Chairman's Cuts. There's spotlight reviews, convention coverage, and other projects that we will announce when the time is right. But speaking of convention coverage, we've applied to a lot, and we've been told no. We've been ghosted. We were told we were too small to cover these conventions and that nobody has ever heard of us. Well, perseverance, persistence paid off this year. And this year we will be at Baltimore Comic-Con, Small Press Expo. So we'll be going to Small Press Expo, quick turn-in, and going to Baltimore Comic-Con as well the following week. And that is something that I'm very excited to get to do and to cover for everyone. So if you're at one of those conventions, please shoot me a message, hit me up, let's link up and meet finally, because I know I've met a lot of people who will probably be at both of those conventions. And it'd be cool to shake your hand and say thank you for giving me the opportunity. But we're really excited about that, and we're hoping more convention coverage will come later in the future, whether it's this year or next year. Hopefully we can continue on this trend of getting these opportunities to cover comic conventions as credentialed press. It's a huge milestone for me and something that I have busted my ass to get to. And I'm proud to say that we've done it. So, but for me, this isn't just another badge. It's another opportunity to tell the stories of independent creators directly from the convention floor. More conversations, more creator spotlights, and more opportunities to introduce people to amazing books they may have otherwise missed. You'll also notice changes in how USDN looks. After rocking the Star Wars theme for quite a while now, we are going to be going away from that to reflect more of what we actually do, and that is independent comics. I've already commissioned the new logos to be made. I've already received one of them. There are 3 more coming, including one for the Council of Nerds, which I have talked about for the longest time doing, and it is finally happening. So the Council of Nerds will have their very own logo finally, and I'm excited to have that for everyone. But with that comes another decision that's important to me. And over the last few years, I have experimented with a variety of creative tools, including AI generated thumbnails. Those tools helped me during a period of growth and experimentation. And but moving forward, every USDN thumbnail will be built using real photography, creator provided artwork, and original graphic design whenever possible, which means I have been getting very friendly with Canva and a few other platforms to do that. And that is extra time that I need before a show to produce. And that's also why there will be less shows. So I have time to actually do pre-production the way that I want to do pre-production. And it takes time. Because I do want each thumbnail that I do for every long form video for each creator interview to be unique to the creator. I do not want it to be something recycled. However, the chairman's cuts, those are a unique branding that I intend to use the same thumbnail for with different creators added to the thumbnail as it happens. So that will be the difference. Long form discussions for long form interviews have their own unique thumbnail. Chairman's cuts are the same thumbnail with just the creator's name, photograph, and what I have entitling that video. What will be on those, but it's still unique because I created the thumbnail. It's not, and that's will be all our thumbnails going forward. I produce those thumbnails. So when you receive my pre-production email, please send me the items I need. That way I can make those thumbnails in a timely manner and not rush those. This is a little bit more work, but it's well worth doing for the audience that I cater to. But every decision we make should always answer one question. Does this better serve the creators and the community? And if that answer is yes, that is the direction that we will be going. I'm also excited to share that the official USDN website is currently in development. The goal is to create a permanent home for everything we do. Interviews, creator spotlights, convention coverage, news, resources, a place where creators and fans alike can continue connecting long after the episode ends. And finally, I want to say something personal. For more than 3 years, the USDN, of course, has been a constant part of my life. And as we continue to grow, I also want to make sure I can continue to enjoy the journey. Building a little bit more balance into the schedule doesn't mean caring less. It means making sure that I can continue to give the community my best years to come. I truly believe that's the healthiest way to grow, not just for me, but for everyone who puts their trust in USDN. And what I mean by that is I want to be here for a very long time. And I have gone nonstop since January. And that's why I am also pulling back just a little bit I'm offering less interviews, but better quality, I believe, is what the long-term goal is with doing that. And so, yeah, just that's I think that's important, is for my overall health and the health of the channel. And that way everything feels quality and premium when it leaves my desk. But before we close, there's one more question I would like to answer. And that is, who exactly is the Council of Nerds? People have heard me say those words for years now. The Council of Nerds is now in session. But who is the council? It isn't a committee. It isn't a membership. It isn't an exclusive club for a certain few. The council is every creator who has had the courage to put their work out into the world. Every reader who chooses to support an independent comic. Every listener who spends an hour getting to know a creator. Every convention volunteer, every retailer, every reviewer, podcaster, and every fan who believes independent comics deserve to be celebrated. The council is this community. It's all of us. And if you believe in supporting independent creators, then you have been a part of the council all along. Welcome to the council. 3 years ago, USDN was simply an idea. Today, it's a community built on trust, on creativity, on storytelling, and the belief that independent creators deserve to have their voices heard. To every creator who has trusted us with your story, thank you. To every viewer, every listener, every supporter, thank you. The next chapter of USDN isn't about becoming the biggest voice in comics. It's about becoming one of the most trusted voices in independent comics. I'm honored that you have chosen to be a part of this journey. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the inaugural Chairman's Address. And if you have been listening to the USDN podcast, where indie comics come to life, ladies and gentlemen, the Council of Nerds is now adjourned. Y'all be safe out there, and happy weekend. Y'all be safe.
It's a trap!